100 gigawatts. That's the annual AI compute capacity SpaceX says it ultimately wants to deploy in orbit, a lofty goal made no easier by the challenges of building and maintaining networks of thousands, even millions of these specialized spacecraft in a harsh orbital environment. What does a space-based data center look like? Bloomberg did a mock-up of how these craft would work. So this is the body. Inside, radiation-tolerant AI chips, right in here. Around them, networking layer, power, thermal management, flight control systems. Then for communications, the satellites could rely on laser links around here, rather than your traditional radio frequencies. That's kind of the squiggly line beaming back down to Earth, handling that enormous flow of data to power these systems. Absolutely massive solar array panels, as well as batteries to store that energy when the sun's not there, right, when it's blocked. This up here is the radiator. On Earth, data centers use air, or they use water for cooling. In space, radiators disperse the heat into deep space, and they're going to need to handle far more heat than today's current designs. Out of this world? Yes. Our next guest has already started down this complicated road. Philip Johnston is the CEO and co-founder of Starcloud, which launched the first NVIDIA H100 chip aboard its satellite this past November. Put myself on the spot here. You tell me, what was my explanation of the basics of orbital data center like? Did we get it right?
Excellent explanation.
So for you, this is real, right? An H100 inside the form factor of a satellite. Explain how you got to that point, the engineering challenge, the deployment.
Yeah, for sure. So we, as you rightly mentioned, we launched the first NVIDIA H100 in November last year. Actually, we launched a satellite which has 5 GPUs, 3 from NVIDIA, 2 from ARM, but the H100 was the most important and interesting one. And the way we got there is we started the company about 2.5 years ago, and we had a very quick development cycle for that first spacecraft. And I think on the screen here, actually, you can see one of our early renders of a very large 4 kilometer by 4 kilometer solar panel with a 5 gigawatt cluster in the middle. That would be for something like training. We're more going to be doing things like right now we're very focused on these small inference nodes. So we'll be launching. We just filed with the FCC for a constellation of 88,000 of them, which enables us to deploy about 20 gigawatts of compute.
And Philip, we're zooming out now. This is a case study of a 5 gigawatt data center. Could you just reiterate what you said about the scale of the solar arrays? What were the numbers on that?
Yeah, so this solar array on the screen is about 4 kilometers by 4 kilometers with about a 1 kilometer by 4 kilometer radiator down the back there. I would say that renders from a couple of years ago when most AI workloads were for training, and it seemed it seemed we wanted to show that if you wanted to do any kind of workload, you could, and so we showed the hardest thing. Actually now it looks like 99% of all AI workloads will very soon be inference, and so we don't need to dock together a large structure like that, and that's the reason we're now doing this distributed constellation of much smaller satellites.
So Philip, I want to be honest with the Bloomberg Tech audience. I invited you onto the program because this is SpaceX's pitch, right? A vast network of orbital data centers. And I guess that in SpaceX's case, we're still waiting for the designs. And Elon Musk has said that, in the coming weeks, he will show his hand on that. You're a company that is already doing this, yes, at right now a limited and small scale. I just wondered if you'd account for that, the idea that SpaceX plans to do this and, how Starcloud will fit in with that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think we really are talking about potentially the largest market opportunity ever. We're talking about trillions of dollars per year of capex will be deployed in space. And so everybody's going to have a solution for space compute. Some of that will be using SpaceX, but certainly lots of other people are going to want more independent clouds. And so that's the customer base we're going after. Initially, also, we'll be serving workloads to other spacecraft, providing edge and cloud services for other spacecraft.
What about the deployment of your satellites? Are you a customer of SpaceX on the rideshare program, or how does that work?
Yes, we are a very happy customer of SpaceX on both the rideshare program and potentially for dedicated Falcon 9 launches. So, yeah, don't want to speak too soon, but that we should have some interesting things to say about that soon.
You come back on the show when you're ready. Let's end here. What's the ripple effect of this SpaceX IPO going to be for you? Right? Is there going to be a trickle down?
Yeah, we're already seeing it. I mean, there's just enormous interest in the space industry that wasn't there before. So we raised actually the fastest unicorn round coming out of YC ever. So in 17 months, we went from basically zero to $1.1 billion valuation with a $170 million raise. I think a lot of that is fueled by people now understanding space, realizing there's a huge market opportunity there. And that's in large part because of the SpaceX IPO.